Welcome to the channel. So this is going to be a quick video on what I do on Google Search Console to try and rank or try and lift pages which are not seeing much. So I've selected one of my websites which is actually deteriorating, and it has been deteriorating over time. So if you can see the last 12 months here, it's a newspaper website which started off great and then it's just been sort of slowly dying a slow death. And here is a process of what I would do to try and rejuvenate it, give it a bit of life, and to see what I can, see what I can do. So, first thing I want to do is I want to come to security and manual actions just to make sure I've got nothing here. If Google's got a problem with your site, if they've got any sort of issues, this is where they're going to let you know. So, first thing you want to do is make sure that you've not got any manual actions or anything like that. And then you also want to make sure that you're okay in Core Web Vitals. Now you do need a decent amount of traffic to be able to do to be able to get these measurements from Google Core Web Vitals. But you can always do manual tests and individual URLs. Here you would typically get like a graph of your collective URLs and to see how they're performing. But like I say, you need a little bit of you need a decent amount of traffic to be able to do that. Then you want to see, I mean, this shouldn't even be an issue in this day and age, but if you do have any non-HTTPS URLs, so excuse me, HTTP URLs, this is where they would show. I don't have any. Most CMSs, WordPress, etc., will just default or should just default to HTTPS. If they don't, for whatever reason, question it, ask your hosting, Google it, or ask me, and I'll help you with it. But yeah. Here are all the HTTPS URLs, and you can see that I've had a lot more URLs, and it's just been sort of deteriorating over time with Google. I've been like, this page isn't really relevant. It's not really worth our crawl budget, so we're just going to remove it. And this is a removal section. So if there's anything on your site that you don't want Google to crawl, then this is where you put it. So typically, any dead pages, privacy policy, cookie templates, anything that you don't think is value for the user, you want to remove it from your index. You do not want it on your index. So anything like that, anything that's got any hint of, yeah, maybe I don't want Google to crawl it, because you got to remember Google's got a crawl budget. That crawl budget is not unlimited, and they're being very, very stingy, and rightly so, because they're crawling your site, they're indexing you for free. So if you are giving them crappy pages, deadweight pages, tag pages, author pages, unless your authors are really, really worth indexing, you don't really want to index them. Contact pages don't need to be indexed. Your shipping returns policy, your FAQ pages, things like that do not need to be indexed. You want to index your products, the stuff that you do want to rank, your services. If you're a directory, listing pages, you don't want to index really category pages unless you're in e-commerce. If you're in e-commerce, then yes, you do want to index your category pages. But if you're a blog, I don't really see the value of indexing your category pages, and you've got to be really careful about what you do index and what you don't. So anything you don't want to index, just come here and literally just put a request into temporary removal, and then that will remove it from the cache and the crawl. Sitemaps. So whenever you get a sitemap, you want to come here and submit it. So I've recently created a directory on this newspaper website, and I've submitted the sitemap. So directory.berkshirehomes.co.uk and the sitemap, and this is the actual main website. So whenever you've got a new sitemap, if you've got a new sitemap, you typically won't have a new sitemap. But let's just say you've got a sitemap and you've just published, I don't know, 50 pages, and you find that they're not really indexed at the moment. So what you can do is, rather than individually coming here and individually pasting your pages to try and get Google to index, and I think the limit here is 10, you just submit your sitemap and let it do its thing, and then you just wait for a little while, and it will literally go out and crawl it. Um, and you can see the index pages versus the non-index pages. I've got a lot of index pages. I've also got a lot of non-index pages, and you can see why the pages which are not indexed are not indexed, basically. And here you can see everything and all the reasons why. most of the pages that are not indexed on mine are duplicate because Google chose a different canonical URL. Um, and this is the directory pages. So this is something that I need to sort of go in and further investigate to see why that's not happening. But you want to spend some time in here because whatever is indexed is going to rank. Or sorry, whatever index is going to get impressions. Whatever it gets impressions is going to get clicks, and that's what's going to bring in the traffic. So that's something that you want to be very, very mindful of. Um, URL inspection. So let's just say I've published a brand new page and I want Google to take notice of it. So for argument's sake, let's just say this is the page. I will come to URL inspection. This is highlighted. Put the page in here. Enter, and then request indexing. I'm not going to request indexing because this has already been indexed, and you can see that it has been indexed here, and you can see what the Google bot has basically crawled it as, and if there's anything that you need to know, you can sort of dig into it further, and again you'll be taken back into the indexed pages column, and you can see actually when I published the directory, a lot more pages were indexed. So, and these are sort of even if they're not indexed, these are pages that Google have taken note of. So at some point, hopefully, they'll be indexed and I'll start ranking for them. Performance. Now, this is where we get to the sort of, if you like, the meat of the presentation. And this is where you want to spend a lot of your time. So what I typically do is I'll go to 7 days, but 7 days here has no value to me because it's only one click. So what I will do is go to 28 days and I want to see here what pages are bringing me the most clicks. And once I've gone through the most clicks, I might stop at sort of 3. I might carry on going down all the way to do the ones, depending on no, there's too many ones, so I might just go down to 3, and then I'll resort it to impressions, and I want to see how many impressions or what pages are giving me the most impressions. So, for example, this page I'm getting a lot of impressions, but I'm not getting any clicks. Let me see what's going on here. So the range Brunel Park is the main query where I'm getting a lot of impressions. So this is not really a newsworthy intent. So I've just switched tabs and I'll go to a different tab. But yeah, the intent is not there, and that's very, very clear. So people who are typing this in are looking for an address or a phone number or something about this store. This is a newspaper article, so it's not really serving that intent. So unless I change the intent on the page, it's not really going to serve that intent. So either I've got two options. Either I can remove the page, not newsworthy, not going to do it. It's not a site about finding stores in Reading in Brunel Park. Or I can turn this URL around and make it an informational blog about the range new store, about information on it. So here I would Google these keywords, or at least one of them, see what pages are on the first page of Google, or at least in the first top 3 or top 5 listings, and then try and match my intent to those pages to make sure that whatever I'm writing about on this article matches what's on the top page, on the top listing of Google, what's on their pages. And that's what I would do to try and get that page moved up in the SERPs. Now, this isn't always going to work, but 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, you'll find that it works. So, okay, so we've done that one. And then I would, oh, go away. So we've done the one with the top impressions with 0 clicks. I'm also getting a lot of clicks or a lot of impressions and a decent amount of clicks here. But when I click into the page, you can see it's starting to fade and dissolve over time. So, why is the sort of next question. I've already sorted this by impressions. So pub quiz Reading is what I would Google. I would see what's on that page and then match my intent to that page. And where am I ranking for this? So let's have a look. Through page. Huh. They used to have a ranking. I guess they don't. So I would manually. Ah. So I would manually in this case, yeah, I would manually in this case to see, I would go and see where I'm ranking for this. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm not even on the first page or the second page. So in this case, I want to question whether I still want to carry on with this article or not. At this point, I want to see where Google has seen me as an authority already on my website over the collective pages that I've got, which are, if you're not getting enough clicks for 7 days, broaden out, go to 28 days. And if you're still not getting any clicks, have a look at what impressions you're getting. So, and this is where topical authority comes into play. So you want to see where Google are rewarding you as a topical authority website in this area. So you can see a lot of these Reading. This is an area where I live. Reading. This is Bracknell versus Reading, I guess. So Reading. So I would here want to do more information about Reading because that's where I'm getting a lot of clicks. That's where I'm getting most of my clicks. That's sorted by impressions. Reading. Not quite sure where that is. Bracknell, which is part of Reading. Twyford, a little bit further out, but what kind of Reading? So all of these are Reading. I would start publishing relevant content in Reading or about Reading. I would see what search volume there is. Again, and I've said this before, search volume isn't the be all and end all. So if you find a zero search volume keyword, write about it. 15% of all searches are brand new, as in never been searched on Google. And if they've never been searched on Google, they're sure as hell not going to get picked up on SEMrush or Ahrefs or Moz or any of the other SEO tools. So even if there's zero search volume, write about it. Write about Reading, information about Reading. Top tourist locations in Reading, top places to visit for a family in Reading, top places to live in Reading, anything like that. And that's where I would start focusing my attention. I would also look at some of these top articles which are getting a lot of impressions and clicks and try and create offshoots of those. Maybe not offshoots, but try and create related articles based on these. Because if these guys are already getting clicks, what you can do is open this page up and internally link, once you've optimized this page to get more clicks, internally link this page to another page which is very closely related to that pub quiz Reading article. So in that case, again, we've got ChatGPT, we've got Gemini, we've got Claude, maybe not Gemini, it's kind of crap, but ChatGPT and Claude, you put in some of these articles and say, give me a list of articles that people would find helpful, which are closely related, but do not cannibalize these keywords, and then let it do the heavy lifting for you. I've got a lot of keywords ranked on page one, which I've got from ChatGPT or Claude, because it's a really, really clever way to generate keywords. Don't forget, this is not Ahrefs. Every SEO and their dog is using Ahrefs or SEMrush. So you're going after something unique, and this is something which is going to give you a tangible advantage over your competition. But yeah, typically this is Google Search Console in a nutshell. You come in here and you're going to have a look at the top sort of overview. But again, I haven't spent any time on this site at all. This site has just literally, it's been updated, but it's been updated using AI automation. I've had a VA go in there and add in pictures, and I've literally been hands off. I haven't touched this website for quite a few months now. Um, so that's why I wanted to use it as an example to revive. But again, you can see the pages are going up since I've added the can't speak, since I've added the directory. And yeah, once you've got a decent amount of traffic, and I've seen this on my other websites, you're going to get suggestions from Google to say this is how you enhance your performance, and this is the suggested things that we would like you to do. But there it is in a nutshell. If you've got any questions, give me a shout.